So today we're going to be talking about the properties of logarithms. So these three rules up here are rules you're going to need to know, and that's what we're going to be applying down here in the properties. So the first rule here says that if you are multiplying two terms, then you'll be adding in between. This one says if we're dividing, we subtract. And this one's telling you if you have an exponent, the exponent's going to come out in front. So number one follows the first rule right here. And I'm just going to expand it out. So the 2 will go in the x spot right here, and the x is going to go in the y spot right there. So what it looks like is log of 2 plus log of x. Then number 2 is going to use rule 1 and 3. So we're going to use rule 1 first. I'm going to write that as log base 2. So the computer was messing up, so I wrote it down for us. So it's log base 2 of 7 plus the log base 2 of x cubed. So now this x cubed, that 3 is going to have to come out in front. That's what rule 3 here says. The exponent comes out in front. So your final answer for number 2 will be log base 2 of 7 plus 3 log base 2 of x. The 3 does not go in front of both of them because it's only an exponent on the x. It's not an exponent on the 7 also. So number 3 now, this is a division between the y and 3x squared, and then down here will be multiplication. I'm going to do the division first. I'm going to have log. So I'll put a subtraction between the y and then 3x squared back here. So that's log base 7 and it's division. That's when we change it to subtraction. Now this inside here, that's a multiplication. So we need to expand this out using the multiplication rule of number 1 up there. So I went ahead and put the minus sign to both of them since they're both being subtracted. So even though this is an addition inside of here, this minus sign went to both terms. That's why I changed it to subtraction down here. And the last is that this 2 needs to go out in front. So really you're going to have a 2 here. I'm just erase it as the exponent up there. So then this will be your final answer for number 3. So try number 4 now on your own. So hopefully you correctly identified that it was the log of x plus the log of y plus the log of z. These are all multiplied. That's why they all expand out with addition. So now try number 5. So on this one again, they're all additions. So I put an 8 plus the x plus the y. Now this can be a little tricky, and you have to refer to what we did in the last lesson for this part, log base 2 of 8. So really remember this is saying 2 to what power is going to give me 8. And that would be a 3. So really you can simplify that part to a 3, and the rest of it would just stay the same. So the simplified answer is going to be this blue answer here. So now for number 6, we have, again, a multiplication and a division in the same problem. ln is a natural logarithm, and it doesn't change your process. So I'm going to do division first. Let's subtract the 3. And now we're going to do the multiplication of these two terms. We have the x squared plus natural log y plus natural log of 3. And our last is to take this 3 and move it out in front. So there'll be a 2 there. The next section, we're just going to do the reverse order of these. So instead of expanding them out, I'm going to condense them. So remember, addition means multiplication. So this means it was log, and it should be 6 times the x now. For number 2, you first need to remember that 2 was an exponent on the 5, and then addition is multiplication. So you have log 8 to be x times 5 squared. And then typically, we would go ahead and multiply that number and write the x behind it just for notation. So again, this 3 is an exponent on the 4, and subtraction means division. We're going to have 2 divided by 4 cubed. If you prefer, you can write that as log of 2 over 64. You can also write that as a log of 1 over 32. So go ahead and try number 4 for me. So unreduced, I put the 2 back as the exponent on the 7, the 5 back on the x, and division or subtraction. You could write that as 49 if you wanted. So go ahead and try number 5. So hopefully you have ln of 3xz, because addition would mean multiplication. And go ahead and try number 6 now. So we have 2 to the power of 4 now. That goes up here. The 3 goes to the e. Subtraction meant division. So the last thing we can do here is that on these problems here, we've been saying like 3 to what power will give me 7. But this is going to be a decimal. You'd have to do a bunch of guessing in order to figure out exactly what number would give it to you. So instead, we have this, what we call the change of base formula. So So all we're going to do is we can now change this to base 10, because that's what your calculator is, and we can type it in. So I always think that the y is closer to the bottom, and it goes on the bottom. You're going to type in your calculator log of 7 divided by log of 3. And the log should be wherever you found the e in the same section, and actually type that in. So I type it in, and I get 1.77. So make sure that you close the parenthesis on the 7. So if you're not getting 1.77, make sure you close it before you divide. So go ahead and do number 2 for me. So I got 0.64, we'll round it up to 8 for that one.